Peace and love, family and friends, naysayers, whomever. My name is Leon Wheeler Jr., and this is Master Making in Motion. And today's brief talk will be about learning the game. Man, this is a deep one. Learning the game. What is the game? Well, to everybody, it means something different. But to me, the game is life. Hold on, let me go back a little farther. First and foremost, the game is God and everything in it, everything that exists on the planet, everything that lives. So, again, life, the game is life. And it's our job to learn as much as we can so that we can give the game in hopes of making the world a better place. The game is the goal, and it should be. The game is to learn so that we can empower what's coming behind us, the children. That's what we want to acquire all this information for. This is why we want to learn, because we want to make the world a better place than it was before we entered it. We don't have time for a lot of fun and games and a lot of bull crap, and we've been doing that for quite some time. We are considered to be sensation seekers. That's what I heard Wafdi Muhammad call the sensation seekers. So that implies to me that we want to get on, we want to party, we want to boogie, we want to have fun. But while we're playing, having fun, life is passing us by, and that's not that's not what uh, logical thinking human beings should be doing. Just boogieing and partying. I do believe there's a time for everything. When you overcome a scenario or reach a milestone or something, you've achieved something that's of some uh, notable achievement in your life, yeah, you should celebrate. But to live every day to party, to play, to have fun, it's too serious. Life is too serious. Now, that's just my opinion. And I probably should digress and not say it's that serious, because if you're doing what's necessary, if you're doing what you need to be doing, you're celebrating all the time anyway. And when I'm learning, I'm in bliss. I'm partying then. When I'm learning, when I'm applying myself and evolving and developing and becoming better, I, that's my party. That's my boogie. You know, I I went away at the age of 28. I was incarcerated, and I've always been inspired to want to contribute to the world. And I've always believed that I was created for that mission. I believe that God had chose me, that I'm chosen for this mission. I still believe that. So I got to the penitentiary and I was like, wow, this is a new life. This is not what I expected. But I went in, honestly speaking, probably abnormal to most people. I'm sure it was, because I recall being in the bullpen with some individuals, and uh, I had got my sentence. The judge sentenced me 25 to 50. And a young brother sat next to me, and he was contemplating, going through whatever was on his mind. Well, I know what was on his mind. He had just got sentenced, and his sentence was 12 years, if I'm not mistaken. And he asked me a question. He asked me, "Do I believe in God? Do I believe in Jesus?" And You know, I told him at the time, I was like, man, I ain't really qualified. I mean, I definitely believe in God, no doubt. I mean, I grew up in the church and everything, but I don't know if that's a question that I want to tackle at this particular time. So, but yeah, I believe in God, and he said something to me. You know, he said he asked me had I been sentenced or what was going on. I said, yeah, I got sentenced. I got 25 to 50, and he was blew back because I had a smile on my face. He was, and I still had a smile on my face, and he was so serious, and he was like, man, what's, you know, 25 to 50, and you smiling. Fast forward, I ran into the brother probably 7 years after that, 5, 7 years after that. Excuse me. And he said, man, I recall when I first met you, man, in the bullpen, and he don't remember the conversation about Jesus and God. We had both converted to Islam at that particular time. I think he had converted. I was already in the process of accepting Islam because I had seen Malcolm X quite a few times before I got locked up, and I was inspired by Malcolm. And I decided to take the path that Malcolm took, and I went straight to Orthodox Islam. But that's another conversation, and we probably deal with that one, I'm sure, down the line because we're teaching, because we're students teaching what we want to learn. We are striving to be the best. So anyway, uh, so he said, "You still got that smile on your face," and I said all of that to say is, you can be still joyful when you know you got serious work on the flow because you're motivated. And I had a small period of trying to adapt, figuring out what I was going to do. And I came in for a minute thinking that I was going to have to, you know, keep a certain mentality or create a mentality for the most part to survive in there. But then it hit me that, man, shit, you don't know when you're going home. Make the best of this. Go to work. And through my studying and reading, I think one of the first books I read back, really read because I wasn't a great reader at the time, was Malcolm's autobiography. And Malcolm called himself self-taught. He used the word autodidact, and I embraced that word. That's my word. I am autodidact, like Malcolm. I even took Malcolm's name, his Muslim name, Malik. My name is Malik Shabazz. You know, he was Malik El Hajj Shabazz because he took Hajj. I never made Hajj. But anyway, so I went to work. I went to study. As much as I could, I was devouring books. I was reading books about all the things that was important to me. And all the things that was important to me was all centered around family and friends and community. Because that's, like I said, I think I was born for this work. Even though I didn't know how to apply it, I was born. This is what I was created to do: is motivate and inspire my people. Unfortunately, I was doing it from a perspective that wasn't quite positive, wasn't the best methods that I could have, that I was sharing. But I even did that, being inspired and striving for something good. So I was teaching these young brothers that was under me how to survive in a cutthroat world. And again, still autodidact. I didn't know the name of that word. I didn't know the word at the time, but that's what I was. I was autodidact. I was teaching what I wanted to learn. And I was learning how to be a leader. And I was teaching them how to be leaders. I was a fisherman of men. I was a fisherman, something like Jesus. Anyway, so this is the philosophy. This is the concept. Learn the game so that you can teach the game. And that's what I've been doing my whole life. My new philosophy: teach what you want to learn. I want to learn. My main, my main goal, my main, I'm not even gonna say goal. One of my main concerns is the concern of love. And we go deal with love. I'm not gonna stay there long, but I don't really understand love. I mean, I got what I got different. I understand the definition. I understand what people say, but it doesn't seem to the concepts and the words that I hear people say. It doesn't seem like it does justice to the word. So my view, my goal, my mission, part of my mission, probably one of my main missions. Probably I got to think about that and get back with you. But it's to be love made manifested in human form. I want to learn how to love properly, how to love you properly, how to love myself properly, uh, how to be that example. And I don't want it to be wishy washy. And when I say love, it has to be unconditional. So if it's not unconditional, I don't, And these again, these are terminologies that we use, that we talk about, that people say. And I know philosophically, somebody gonna be able to say some real profound shit about what love is, and I'm willing to hear it, you know. And I want to hear it because I'm a student. I grow. So drop it. If you got something that you can share in the comments, please give me your definition or your understanding of love. I know what it means to me. I know what it's not. And I think I see more of that than anything. The closest I can say about love, I'm sure I mentioned before, is what my mother shared with me. So if it's not unconditional, I don't. If it's got a lot of conditions to it, the conditions become what it is. To me, that non and void love itself. If you love me because I'm doing something for you, you don't love me. You love what I'm doing for you. So, or you like what or you use me for. So that's not love. But that's not the conversation. But anyway, so that's what I stress. So that's what I want to learn in totality. And all of that still centers around self-mastery. So I wrote my book. That's my focus. That's primarily what I'm about, is learning to be the best that I can be and teaching it. Learning love, learning love is my goal. Learning the game so that I can teach the game properly. And I put a lot of the game in my book. And I go back and forth to this book because this was a labor of love to me. I wrote this when I was incarcerated, and I fine-tuned it. I really tried to keep it as original as possible when I got home, and I did. So I didn't change a lot of stuff. I really didn't. I just did a little more editing because I wanted to keep it the way I was feeling at the time when I wrote it. And like I said, that's been over 20 years ago, but when I got home, I had to figure out how to publish it because I didn't have the help to do what I needed to do. And like I said, a little fine tuning. I didn't want to do too much, but I wanted it to be raw and pretty much, I don't even want to say mistakes, but this is what I was thinking at the time. This is what I was motivated because of the atmosphere. So I wanted to learn the game, and I had been learning the game since I was incarcerated to share. So I didn't want to keep sharing the street life, the life that I had that landed me in the penitentiary. That mindset, at least not with some intellect behind it, because I was really motivated and moving strictly on impulse. The book deals with levels of consciousness that I've created to make my point. And it's the unconscious player, the conscious player, the boss player, and the master player. And the first player was the babies. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because they was unconscious. And to be honest, that's a lot of us is, and we may be of up in age, moving around unconsciously. Then you get to a conscious state, and I think for the majority of my life, that's what I was, a conscious player. And I give a explanation of a conscious player as an individual that that's that has some knowledge, that makes stuff happen, that's cocky and arrogant, and but still has a good heart, possibly. I mean, there's a lot of renditions, and I played that field for a long time. But while writing the book, and while I elevated, in my opinion, to a boss player. And I've been there ever since. And I've been there because I've been procrastinating, doing a lot of different things that's took me away from my overall goal is to become a master. So I'm back on track, and by grace of myself, the guy within, the guy without, the universe, you all, I'll be there until I complete the task. And I probably never complete the task, but I'm definitely going to give my best effort to become greater each and every day of my life. I had some setbacks. I'm back on track, for real, for real. So my grandson, great grandson, said, "For real, for real." Yeah, I got a great grandson. I remember when I first met him, he told me, for real, one time. So for real, I'm back on track, and I'm teaching what I want to learn. Which still is the game. So we got to learn the game. And we got to learn the game so we can teach the game to those who need it. Because the more of us know, the better off we'll be. You know, there was a saying growing up that I heard that the game is to be sold, not told. I totally disagree. I put it in my book. The game is to be told, not sold, because we won. I look at us all as one. So you need to know this. And I don't need to sell. I want you to know this because if you know this, if you know the game, which is God, which is grace, anything you can almost think of start with the G word that's positive. That's what the game is to me, and it's life. You know, so if you got the game, then and you sharing the game, our lives together, you know, on earth, it's gonna be better. Our communities, our households, our individual households, the world, you know, extended world, you know, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be better. So I want us to know the game. That's what I'm motivated about. Teaching what inspires growth, what inspires goodness, grace, God. This is God talk. This is what it is, which is master talk. Right now I'm talking to you on the level probably somewhat equivalent to a master. I'm not saying I'm a master because I'm not, because the masters stay there. They don't vacillate. They don't, you know, all the other channels that I talked about in the levels I talked about in the book, they vacillate. But the masters don't. The masters stay a master at all times. That's what makes him a master. So, but right now, this is master talk though, and I'm motivated. I think well, it might just be the top of the line of some boss talk. Let's just do that. But yeah. So that's what I want us to focus on, learning the game, and that's what this channel is about. I'm sharing with you that which I have learned, and this is my transformation. This is coming from a caterpillar, you know, into a butterfly. You know, it's the transformation. You know, caterpillar looks so it's not a really good sight to look at, but it's still living and it's still serving its purpose, whatever that purpose may be. But then when it evolves, when it you know it metamorphoses, I guess I could say, I don't know, maybe that's, but you know what I'm saying. It becomes this beautiful specimen, the butterfly. So that's what I'm striving for, to get better and better and better. And I'm doing. I'm doing so. And I'm proud of myself. And I'm proud of myself, so proud of myself that I made it. It was in evident, it was definite that I was going to do this, create this channel. And I'm gonna get better and better at sharing the game, because this is my gift. This is the gift that I was given to share with the world, my portion of the game. And I want to learn it. And I want you to learn it so we can operate on a better level, on a higher frequency, and we can make some shit really happen. That's what motivates me. The love of life. Those are two things that I mean, I told you I want to become love made manifested in human form in life. So I just wanted to briefly drop this on you, talk to you about learning the game and what's my motivation in that and what's my intentions and what I'm hoping to help my, fellow man and my sisters. Just want us to elevate. And I'm fighting tooth and nail to do whatever I can to aid and assist our plight. You know, and like I said, this ain't gonna be all. It's not gonna be. It's not gonna be sugar coated. I'm not. I mean, I'm. It's gonna be some raw shit. It's gonna be some raw shit said, and it may offend you, but it's not to offend you. It's to motivate you to strive to be better, to be your best, so we can be our best. We can do what we need to do. And I know the fact if I can only help, you know, very small portion of people, my job is done. You know, I wrote these books, this Code and Ethics for Up and Coming Player, King, a Master in the Making. These books are about growth. These books are about being the best human beings we can be. It's about that king is about teaching your children, your seeds, how to become kings, how to become the greatest individuals they can be. We want to give them all the game that we can give them. We want to give them all the information, all the ammunition that's necessary to take them to a higher plateau. I can't talk to all the kids today. I mean, society is, I mean, it's hard to talk to kids, period, because of the mindsets of a lot of the parents. Because if you say the wrong thing, you know, you can't approach them. So I'm more encouraged to teach the parents now, to share with the parents, you know, so that they can have to be inspired to teach the seeds. So my job is I mean twofold. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the kids, especially a well-mannered kid. The kids can only, you know, what they just an empty sheet of paper. It's just like I said a minute yesterday, the other day, the empty. It's just empty. So what you write on it is what they take with them as they grow and evolve into the person, the people that they're going to operate as. Language is. I'm going to use some language. This is game talk. I created it. Come out my book. That's the language I'm going to use. So I'm hoping that you all will go to Amazon.com and purchase my book, Code and Ethics for Up and Coming Players, and King, so you can know the dialogue. You can get to know who I am, and you can grow with me as I talk and use this dialogue. You'll be able to really refer to it, and it'll benefit you and me, and it's just a tool, and that'll help us expedite what we're doing here. Is striving to be the best human beings that we can be. So what we go do is we go learn the game so that we can teach the game. And we know, without a doubt now, that the game is God. And God is life and everything that's in it. So when you look around, you see God. And this is God's game. I'm gonna drop this on you. I'm gonna drop this on you. And we are performers, performing in God's saga, in his play, or her play. You dig me? This is the game. And we're participants. That's why I call us players. To me, that's my definition. We're participants in the game of life. Participating on the scale, on the screen, on the earth as God and goddesses, as you and I. So I ain't gonna get too deep with that. I mean, I've been on here longer than I intended to, but I want to just drop that on you. If I said anything that you think could be helpful to anyone, you know, please share it. I ask that you like, and share and subscribe to my channel. Master Making in Motion. And if you got something to say about anything you heard, put it in the comments and I'll address it. Peace and love. Big.